All right. C1x Updates. New episode. Obviously. Last time, I got most of the changes for the new shot logging view. At least for the main section of notes that I had for it. This is what we're looking like right now. With everything working as intended, and the last thing I had on this section of notes, at least, for this view, are we good? Yeah, we're good. Is to make the undo button work, which isn't here yet because I haven't entered a shot, but to make that button work. Haven't started doing this yet. My hope, if anyone watched the series where I was originally building the test version of C1x, or where I was getting the launch version ready, which was its own series, you know that the undo button caused me a lot of trouble. Mostly my own fault. But so hopefully all of that experience is going to help me today. Also hoping that, because essentially what I'm doing with the undo button is all of the data that's logged in the deep stats section here, which is the only piece of data that's really different from what C1x does originally in the version that's already available to everyone, just, regular. The landing areas where it's just this, the only difference is I'm creating this detailed shot variable, and I'm just adding to it in the exact same way that I'm adding to the regular shot data, which is just tracking landing areas. So just tracking this information. It all goes into the detailed shot data. They have the exact same structure. That's the only thing I need to change. So my hope is that I can just do exactly what I did to the shot data with the undo button, and that it's going to work well. And we'll find out if that's actually the case. Maybe. Here's a question. I guess let's start here. Combined, join, combined gets saved, so combined is blank regardless, which is fine. If I turn deep stats off right now, have I broken the undo button? I have not. Okay. That's great. So undo button works great in normal C1x. So I don't need to worry about that. Does that mean that it works okay here? T fairway, not quite. I'm going to guess that certain aspects of it are working the same, but definitely stuff with the deep round scorecard here is going to cause issues. So that's okay. I will, let's, just for sanity's sake, while I'm going through this, let's go ahead and pull up the normal round scorecard file as well. Just so I have that available to look at. Let's erase round. Okay, so goal is to make the undo button work. I actually had another note on here too. We'll get to that. Step 1, undo button. So it's not the confirm bar here. I don't need this. Should really just be looking at the undo button. Undo shots is round over. Label undo. All right. Options button. And then we got the same thing here. So I don't think that I have changed any of this code. I might have updated the call here. Maybe, but that's just saving anyways, so I probably didn't. So this code should all be exactly the same. which is a good start. So here we're going to add it to the end. We'll go new actual hole, new deep shot data. Undo last shot, we're going to pass round information shot data, actual hole, current hole, and we're going to pass round information dot detailed shot data. And it's going to throw errors because I don't actually have these all included in the code currently, but we will get there. New deep shot data object can't be passed. Isn't assignable to type object. Okay, so we'll get there. I think once I update the calls here, everything should work fine. New current hole, hole parse length, update round score. This should not be affected. Our deep shot data is not affecting the round score. We're still logging shot data as normal. Right? Yeah, we are. Because I'm still, like, these rounds were kept using deep shots, and all of this information is still here. So, of course, I did mess that up, but quick sanity check. All right. If round information shot data is not empty, undo the previous shot. Undo 2 shots ago. These should be fine, because I'm really only looking at landing areas here. I'm still filling in shot data. It's only happening after confirm is pressed, in which shot data is updated at that point. So once next shot is updated, like here, even though I've typed in fairway, I haven't entered the shot, so undo isn't available, nor should it be. So I don't think any of this is going to need to change. Where do I update, like, throwing from? Is that ever updated here? Maybe it's not. If new shot data current hole -1 is not empty, fair. Throwing options, update options shown, that should be fine. Throwing count, do I use throwing options? Let's type here just so I get the error, and then let me make sure that up here I am passing throwing options. Yeah, because it all had to work with regular C1x too. Throwing count shouldn't need to change. If new shot data or new shot data or new shot data, does penalty graphic need to be shown? That should be fine. Else, throwing options, throwing count, save information. So I don't think there's anything else here. And then the real thing to change is going to be updating this function, which I also don't believe I've actually made any changes to. So this is now going to have a list string, and I should start to see some of these errors go away once these are added. List string deep shot data. Still have them. Oh, just because of my return function. That makes sense. Okay. So now, in principle, the hope is that everything I do to shot data, I just also do to deep shot data. And then it works. Shot data last and next clear, deep shot data. And just to think through this, because with every shot data log I'm adding, this will get a little bit dicey. It's not quite going to work the same. With the key difference being that, let's say you're on the tee of hole 1. If I hit C1 and 11 to 22 feet, that creates 2 entries in the regular shot data. I log C1, I log 11 to 22 feet. For deep shot data, that's only 1. It's only 1 shot, which makes sense because it is only 1 shot. So I do need to think carefully about this. If hole completed options contains the last index and shot data last index is empty, current hole, so we're on the last hole, which that makes sense. If it's basket or a throw-in, we're going to clear the last index, so that should be good. Shot data last index contains a skipped hole and empty. Current hole, actual hole, factual hole is less than 1. Actual hole equals shot data length. This is only if we're skipping holes, in which case that should be fine to do the same thing as well. This is where we're going to start getting a little dicey. Shot data last index greater than 1 and putt distance options contains shot data last index element at. So if the length is greater than 1 and putt, let me remember what putt distance options is. It is the actual distances, okay? Contains that element. Last input was putt distance. The current hole is equal to 1. And putt distance options contains shot data last index last. Last input was putt distance. The hole completed options contains shot data last index last, and last is not equal to throw in, so this was a really backwards way to write this. And I'm not going to change it because I'm terrified of changing things once they're working, especially when it's simple like this, but this should just mean that if it's in the basket. The hole completed options is basket and throw in, so I'm saying if it's basket or throw in and it's not throw in, it's basket. So if it's a basket, then I should be able to do the same thing here. Like the only difference, because we're just adding a string either way, should be on putts and putting distances, of which case this is not either, so we should be able to do the same thing. Here I just remove one. We just remove last. Deep shot data, and then this should be the kicker. Except not quite. That's going to be another thing too, is the one other exception. If for shot data you hit penalty and then C1 in this, that's 3 different entries in shot data. Like it logs penalty, it logs C1, and it logs the distance. That is all one shot for deep shot data, right? It's a penalty shot in C1. That's how I track it. You're only going to enter the shot info once for all of that, hit next shot, and you're done. If last input was putt distance, or last index is greater than 0, and last index is not empty, and last index is equal to throw in, or it's equal to skipped hole. So I think if last input was putt distance, I want to ignore this one. I don't want to add deep shot data here, but do I need to add deep shot data for this? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What is last index? Length minus 1. So we're saying it's not the first shot on the hole. And or not the first hole. Not the first hole. Do I set these up the same way? This is where we're at right now. Main menu. Let's start here. Round information. Shot data, detailed shot data, initialize the same way. On the main menu, do I continue that? Builder, no, secondary button. All right, shot data is equal to this and this. Add and add. Okay. Deep round scorecard. and my confirm button, I do this. But only to the deep shot. Okay. So I am adding it. That makes sense. That should be good. I add the whole. I should be adding the shot data in this. Okay. I think we're good. Another good sanity check. Let's continue. So setting them up the same way. If last index is not empty, and last is equal to throw in, or it's a skipped hole. So after I've already removed the last, so I think what I'm saying here is if it was a putt distance, I want to ignore it. But the or statement is if the hole, if it's not the first hole, if we're not already back to the first hole, and whatever hole we're on, there are still shots logged, and that shot is throw in or skipped hole. Which I think unfortunately means that I have to do basically an if and this. What is this? God damn. Screwing stuff up here. All right, if make sure I don't click anything here so it doesn't screw it up. So I still need this to operate here. We do this, and we go deep shot data, remove last. Because I think I still need to remove last on the deep shot data if this is true. Because throw in or skipped hole are both going to be logged as empty shots. Oh. Are they? I have to update the logic for skipped hole as well. That's a good note. So once I do that, it'll work, but I do need this. Okay. So we're going to do that. Now, if it's not empty and last is equal to penalty, this is another one I'm going to ignore because penalty is also logged as a single shot. So my removing last up here is already going to remove the penalty for the deep shot data. I don't need to do it again like I do for the normal shot data. And do I need to do it for this one? Oh. If it's not empty and all labels putting locations, which should be C1 and C2. Yeah, C1 and C2 contains last index. Then I remove it again. I think that means I have to get rid of this one because C1 and C2 should be getting logged with, I think I do. Obviously, I'm going to test all of this. So we'll find out. New deep shot data is equal to deep shot data map, list string, comma, new deep shot data. All errors go away. We'll do a quick save, and then let's go up to the skip. Did user, no, I don't need did user skip every hole. I need to look at this, which I should not have updated either. Round information shot data, current hole -1. Okay. So I should need to more or less just do the same thing I already do. Do the same thing here. Give me my error just so I can track it. This is a confirm bar. Temp, detailed shot data, main landings key. Detailed shot data add. Just to try and make sure I'm doing this in the same way here. All right, so this is step 1. We're at 1488. So I need this. Now let's go back down. So I do that. We're going to copy this, combined, and then I got to add combined. But we'll get there. Skip toll, throw this here. Yeah, instead of shot count to add, one. I do need a way to erase the current one, which we can do. I can do it the same way I do it up here. All right, so I get the combined. Let's go back down here, 1488. So we get combined, and then it should just be this. And then we can call that stuff as well. If current whole is greater than 1, and I shouldn't need to do that, so we can just do this. And instead of add, it's going to be equals combined with inside of an array. Has landing bit entered equals false, reset shot entry equals true. All right, so we reset temp detailed shot data, we do this, and then let's reset it once more at the end. And that should be good. Let's fingers crossed and give it a try. So the hope is that I just got the undo button to work and the skip button to work for deep shots data. Fat chance, right? So that's the one that gets me. Is this a pending issue? Like, it seems like everything works with the exception of what this is showing. Which is below all of this. Return hole count. We're below par, we're below changing. Scorecard info button, we're below. All right. On the T, else. Okay, so somehow both of these are evaluating to true. If shot data length is equal to 1 and update throwing from is not equal to all labels t. Oh, shot data, current hole minus 1. So this might be a mistake on my end. Let's display shot data. Let's try just doing this. And that might do the trick. Undo. Yeah, but then I just get the basket and not the T. And why did I have it set up to work this way? So is the idea that once I hit this, it's not updating. It doesn't update until I hit that. At which point should it even be display shot data, or should it not be? Maybe I changed this previously and I was thinking about this wrong. Like, should I just ensure that I'm using it everywhere? Does that fix it? Let's try this. And if not, maybe I need to revert back the opposite direction and use my round information shot data for everything. Just doing this because it tests out the few different shots, tests out putting, tests out going back from a previous hole. I still get basket though. If current hole dot length is greater than 1, and update throwing from is not equal to t. So it's saying it's not equal to the t here using display shot. I guess when do I update display shot data? Here, pending shot data. So it updates when it's pending. But so does this. What isn't updating? There I get the on the tee and the basket. So does this need to be here? Let's give it a try. And then last doesn't even update. doesn't even say on the T. Oh man. I'm struggling to understand here. I know I created it for a reason. It says last. It should not say last. Is equal to T. Why isn't it equal to on the T right here? You know? Print. I gotta try and see what's going on here. They're both the same thing. What happens if I turn it off? Do I still get last right now? No, I get on the T. But here I get last. They're both blank. And why? Why? Update throwing from. If round is over, if current shot data is not empty, it's equal to last, else it's equal to the T. Why would throwing count not be 1 here? You know, it's like what? What's going on? Throwing count is equal to 1. So throwing count is equal to 1. It should be. Print current shot data. Current shot data never gets called. Meaning what? Update throwing from is never called? How is it not called? How is text getting displayed without it being called? Am I blind? It's not getting called, right? If round is over, summary button. Delete outline row. Why would it? This stuff is all getting called. So is it saying shot? This isn't running. Why is that a greater than 1? It's how is on the T getting printed in normal C1x? How is this ever evaluating to true? I assume I have it set up the same way. What line are we on? We're in the thousands down here. All right. A little higher up maybe. Above round is over. Here I just do this. Why am I making it so much more? No, I do this. Okay. All right. Shot data length is greater than 1 on the T. Does update throwing from ever say on the T? It does say T. Scoring options, and T is just T, right? But if I turn it off, it doesn't just say T, it says on the T. It says on the T. So it's saying that shot data length, not current hole -1. Duh. So here I should do I go back to using the display data then? I don't know. I'm confused as to why I created the display data in the first place. It looks like I'm setting it the exact same way. I feel like I'm missing something. I get on the T. So we can try this again, I guess. Undo. I get fairway, undo, we get on the T. I mean, that seems to be working. So let's just do a, what is display shot data? All right, we call it 4 times. Initialize it up here. I print it there, and I assign it there. And use it for update throwing from. But I should be able to use just normal shot data. It's fine. It doesn't really matter, I guess, but there is no difference. So is everything else working? Penalty, fairway. Next shot, undo, on the T. Penalty, C1. Next shot, basket, undo. It just resets everything, which is good. As long as that's what deep shot data is doing too, I guess. And so maybe that's the last thing I need to be printing here. Let's go to undo last shot. And then let's go down here. Let's print new shot data. Print New deep shot data. Just so I can see what they both look like and make sure that it's consistent. And if it is, then I think we're good. So we'll get extra here. We'll go penalty, next shot, C1 again, next shot, basket, next shot, skip a hole, and then let's do a throw in. All right, let's undo. All right, new shot data equals skip. New deep shot data is a blank, as it should be. Okay, let's undo. Got an error. Undo last shot. Deep round scorecard 1726. All right, so deep shade. So something was broken here. We get the basket, main landings, putt accuracy. S3, we get the basket, putt accuracy. Okay, so it looks like the skip never got added. Let me look at this again. So let's say I skip a hole here. We're on to 2, and I undo. I don't get an error, and it's fine. Let's say we do a throw in, and then we skip a hole, and then I undo. I just have the throw in, we just have the basket. And if I undo again, it works fine. Okay, so what was my error then? Penalty, C1, next shot, C1, basket, skip the hole, and then we do a throw in for the next shot. Okay. So now if I undo here, we are back to the hole that I skipped. So this is a skip, S3, but the skip is not. So I got S1, S2, S3. So there should be a blank here that there doesn't seem to be. Like so it got removed as an extra. Where deep round scorecard? Let's go back to where I have this. All right, skip hole. So I set the state of that entire hole to skip. I should be setting this entire detailed shot to this. Right? Print detailed shot data after skip hole. Let's do a reset there then. And there's some print statements we can get rid of here. I don't think I need this at the moment, so let's reset that. Try and minimize what I've got going on in my debug log here. Let's erase this and start over. All right, so we got fairway. Just doing this over and over again because I could replicate it. And then we're going to skip a hole. And then we're going to throw in. Okay. So let's undo. And now this is so we ended the throw in. What just happened? What is, I feel like my numbers are off. Is that my issue? We got penalty, C1 basket onto hole 2. I'm skipping hole 2, and then we're acing on hole 3. So I'm on hole 4. So I undo, and now we're back to the hole that I aced. So at this point, new shot data is successfully removing the ace here. Which means the deep shot data is just way wrong. +1 shot type, main landings. S2 shot type, 11 to 22 feet. S3 shot type, basket, which stops here, and then we're on to hole 2. So I feel like something's off then on the undo. It's got to be the undo last shot, right? Gotta be. Where do I have my skipped hole logic? It's down here. Like, do I need to get rid of this line? If it's not the first shot on the hole, and I don't even know if that is my issue. Let's just print out what everything is here. Print shot data, last index, print deep shot data, last index. All right, let's erase, confirm. Let's try this one more time. Probably more than one more time. Penalty, C1, next shot, basket. Skip hole 2, ace hole 3. All right, if I undo, last index is equal to 2. Shot data and deep shot data are both empty at this point. Is it solely because I didn't change this to deep shot data? Like they're the same? So I think in principle it shouldn't matter. Like last index should still be empty, but I guess we can try it here. All right, so we undo. Last index, empty, empty. New shot data has skip at the end. This guy still does not. Okay. But here I print deep shot data last index, and it is empty. So this should not be running. Last index Man, I'm confused. There's not a bracket in there that I'm missing, right? Flight path. List to list, new shot data, new deep shot data. Like here, they're both empty. Like I'm doing the same thing. So what is last index is equal to 2? But what, last index minus 1 is my issue, right? When last index is equal to 1? So is it happening before this? Because I am just looking at hole 3, in which case, yeah, I guess, sure, they're blank. Hole completed options contains last and shot data last. This feels wrong. This is for the whole round. So why is shot data dot length should be like 18, right? Man, I'm confused. Like it's working fine in regular C1x, so like I guess surely I'm doing something right, but undo. First last index is only equal to 3. Okay. Sure. Current hole is not equal to 1, which it's not. If hole, I don't know, I guess So here, can I just hit throw in again? And then we can undo. First last index is equal to 3. First shot data has skip and throw in. Deep shot data is blank. It's blank right now. That's got to be the issue. Why is that happening? First shot data has the skip and the throw-in. Deep shot data does not have the skip, but has the throw-in. And I don't do anything up here. Like I call undo last shot and print the data first. So what's different here? Am I updating current whole first? I don't think so, right? Like none of that's happening until down there. Temp detailed shot data is equal to this. Detailed shot data after. Let me see what it looks like again after the skipped hole. Next. Basket. Alright, skip a hole. Detailed shot data after skipped hole. Looks as it should. Looks as it should. Like this is the skip. That's what I want it to look like. And then we throw in. And then I hit undo. So somewhere this is getting reset, and I don't understand. I don't understand where. Frickin' undo button, man. It always gets me. So I checked the detailed shot data after the skipped hole here, and it looks like it's supposed to. Has landing been called? Temp detailed shot data is equal to this. Print, landing been entered false, reset. Shot entry called, temp detailed shot data is equal to that. Entries.map join, round is over. Current score is round over, save scorecard information, and then we pop it. I go to the next hole, I hit a button. So, I mean, it looks fine after this. I guess like it feels silly to go step by step here, but I'm out of other good options. see what that does, I guess. (11 to 22 feet). That gives me a penalty. C1. That gives me that. I've got the S2. And then we go basket. Next shot. So then I get the S3. Then we skip a hole. And it looks fine after skipping a hole. I go throw in and save. It's got to be something with this. Pending detailed shot data. I am stumped. So I skip the hole. Detailed shot data gets updated. By the time I enter in the next ace, do I have skipped hole logic elsewhere? That's the only thing I can think of at the moment. Where's main landings at? All stats management, app management, deep stat keeping, progress, deep stats management, that's literally right there. Nothing in here about a skipped hole. Do I have other logic here? If user skipped every hole is false, that doesn't matter. This is an undo. But I haven't even hit the undo button at that point. So it can't be anything with the undo logic. Like I haven't called this function. Return user hole scores array. That's not going to affect it. Is round over. That's not going to affect it. Update round score should not. Did user skip every hole? That should not. Skip. Did user skip every hole? No. So it's literally just this. Excuse me. This is confusing. This is really confusing. I guess I can Detailed shot data. So after I hit ace, it's blank. Like that is that visible on the screen? Yeah. That array is blank. It was skipped. Like we confirmed here, or up above, that after I skip it, I'm filling in with just a blank shot. But then by the time ace is hit, it's gone. Which I guess maybe we can look at print detailed shot data. I can verify what it is when it's coming in, I guess. You know, we can start there. Shot data and main landings. Okay. Penalty. C1. Next shot. Detailed shot data gets passed normally. Great. C1. Next shot. I get S2. We go basket. Next shot. Main landings. I get S3. Skip hole. Does not get called. Do I need to call it? Is that an issue? Like, is it just the fact that it's never getting passed? I should be passing it, right? Like a deep round scorecard. Because what way up here, I'm just passing detailed shot data, and on skip, I'm updating detailed shot data. It's within a set state. So it should be getting called. But it doesn't seem to be, and so I skip the hole. And then we go throw in. And then, yeah, by the time I hit next shot, it is blank here. It's not there. So after I skip a hole, this never gets called, which means it's not rebuilding. But I guess, like, shot data. Is that getting called? Can't imagine, right? Sorry, I've got too much stuff getting printed to the console here, and makes it harder for me to figure out what the heck I'm looking at. After confirm ace, we'll leave that one in there. We'll get rid of that. Those are in the undo button. That's fine, these are all in the undo button. Okay. So we'll reset, let's undo, confirm. Penalty, C1, next. Detailed shot data, C1, next. We got S2, go in the basket, next. S1, S2, S3, that one gets basket. Now let's skip a hole. Skip gets called here. Detailed shot data does not, it's blank. So by the time it's getting passed 2 main landing options. Like, the more I dig into it, the more confused I get. Skip. Like, we checked here, and detailed shot data is what it's supposed to be. But it's not what's getting passed to main landing, and that part I don't understand why. Here it looks good, so why is it not going? On information shot data or on information detailed shot data? Current hole -1 equals an array. Check this again. I don't. Shot data, current hole -1, yeah. Like, there's something weird going on. There's gotta be. All right, at this point, we skip hole. After skip hole detailed shot data is that. After skip hole shot data is that. But main landings gets called immediately after. And this is not in the detailed shot data. Like, what is causing it to be changed? Like, just sanity check, nothing above this should be affecting it, but let's drop the print statements down at the bottom of the function and just make sure that nothing's happening there. All right, penalty, C1, basket, skip hole. Whoa. Because I changed current hole, that's why. If round is over, else we add to the current hole. So this needs to be this. Yeah, okay. Reset again. Was not thinking about adding to the hole. Penalty here, and C1, and basket, and skip hole. They're still there. Okay. Like skip is here, and this is here. So at this point, both are exactly what they're supposed to be. But somehow they're not getting passed the same way, or both are required. Current shot data, detailed shot data. Does penalty graphic, has landing been entered? And its state, is it down here somewhere? Deep copy 2D string. Did update widget values changed? Is it because I don't have this here? Sync from widget. I bet this is my issue. Update parent state. Detailed shot data. And current shot data. Let's just do a reset and see if those two changes affected it. If it's just not tracking that they change and so it's not updating, that seems like it'd be a weird reason, but maybe there's just something I'm not quite grasping there, which is definitely possible. Skip hole and main landing options. Yeah, now it's working. That was the issue. And so if I do throw in here, and now we undo, detailed shot data still has the skip in it, so now I undo again. We're on to hole 2, I undo. That fixed it, no errors. So I'm raging just a little bit internally for no good reason. Like it's working, and it was certainly just my own lack of not even a lack of understanding, just troubleshooting in a pretty logical manner, working my way through how the code was going, and it just like never crossed my mind that it was a syncing issue between the two widgets. That was my problem. Like I assumed it was just logic within the view itself, but it was solely like the file I'm in right now is this widget, like these 6 buttons. And so the issue with the undo button was a syncing issue between the file that's producing these 6 buttons and the file that's producing the entire view. I was initializing the view just fine, but it was determining whether the detailed shot data changed, whether the sync from widget changed. So what was probably happening, because it was so fast, is that I was updating when I skipped a hole. I was updating the normal shot data first. So I would update it, the view would log that the values changed because I had current shot data here. And then it would update the shot data in this widget to include the skip. And it would do all of that before the parent view, being the entire view here, got to add the skip to the detailed shot data. And I didn't have the detailed shot data, and this values changed. So it was never triggering it. So it was never triggering this, which meant that then it was never triggering the sync, because I didn't have this line in there either. it's working just fine. And importantly, I believe skip hole is working just fine. Yeah. Okay. So that ended up being a slight headache, but we got the undo button working. And it is like typically the penalty and the putting stuff is what breaks it. And I've tested all of those. So I don't think we have to worry about that anymore. Nope. I scrolled and didn't mean to. Undo button is working. Skip hole logic is working. And then I had it on my to-do list to update the putting directional arrows here. I want to flip those as well. Let's we're done with this. I'm done with that file. Because I put the deep stats logging before the landing area, I want to do the same thing with putting. Which one am I in right now? This is throwing. All right, now within putting, we're going to grab, here, this is going to be much easier to grab this one. And we're going to chuck it right here. So now it goes first. Choop. And then it was on my list to change what the benchmarks are for the directional arrows. We might tackle that right now. That should be within, I believe that's within my progress bar and basket checks. Greater than 1, vertical severity, V2. All right, and I really print X and Y. Int X in basket equals int X and int Y. Oh, no, not NX. Here, let's go. Print X, Y. So what, orange is a make and blue is a miss. Okay, so yeah, we can print all of those. And then I'll, do I still have prints in the main landing options? I think I do. Scoring, print, get rid of those. No prints, I just want putting data. Start round. All right. And now I'm gonna get lots of prints here. Which is okay, because we'll get rid of those eventually. But build put location. Do I call build put location project progress? Progress in this as well. No, this is not what I want. Graphics. Not these. Miss breakdown graphic. No, not miss breakdown, sorry. Deep hole breakdown graphic. For putting, shot chip putt location, return flight path, build putt location progress from progress bar graphics. Okay, perfect. So I do only have to update this once, and I remember doing that intentionally. I just wanted to make sure before I jumped into it too much that this view and in like the round breakdown for my little shot chips, I show the same arrows and bullseye, and they both call this function. So I don't have it duplicated. I only have to edit it once, and it'll update in both spots. All right, so in basket checks. So here we've got, that's probably about the extent of how far I want x to go. So we're going to go negative 0.3, and I assume positive 0.3. More so. Is it really not centered that bad? Or off-center that bad? So I want to call this out of the basket. Okay. So no, I guess they're fairly consistent. It should be completely centered, and it looks like it probably is. My eyes are just messing with me. Anywho, y equals oh, I can keep dragging, but I can't actually drag the disk up higher. We're gonna go 7.5, and we're gonna go 7. So I actually had that negative 0.07. All right, so that's going to be the in the basket. And then determining horizontal severity. So if x is less than, I mean, these we can probably just use my basket numbers here. 3 and positive 3. And then for a single arrow, like this is going to be pretty centered. And I feel like here, we can probably do 2. I go negative 0.2 and positive 0.2. Because in reality, these both need to be quite a bit more forgiving. All right, so we've got center. Everything below here. What are we at here? I wouldn't mind making them nice, clean numbers. So everything less than negative 0.6 is going to be 1 arrow. And for 2 arrows, this is where I should probably use the benchmarks up here. So negative 0.75. For 2 errors, we're going to go greater than negative 0.07. Now maybe we'll leave that one at 0.7. Leave that one at positive 0.7, and for lower, we're going to call like this about perfect, 0.15. So if y is greater than negative 0.15. Let's do a reset. And once we do that reset, I should be able to drag this disk around, and we'll get the new arrow locations. All right, so this is bullseye. This is all bullseye, which makes sense. We're a little high here. We're a little left here. We're left. Bullseye there. Left. I feel like the double arrows for X should be a little bit more dramatic. So like, come on. This is centered. think maybe like 3-5 for both. 3-5, 3-5, 3-5. Let's do a reset. And that'll probably do the trick. So we're left here, and then we're big left there. High there. We're low here. We're out of the basket. The in the basket for Y should actually be just a little bit lower. So this is 0.6. I feel like maybe down to like negative 0.03, because it's still kind of squeaking in there, you know? Yeah, but then any lower, and it's a miss. And we're really low there. Like this is kind of low, that's really low. Just kind of testing the limits here. The disk does need to be able to, we're going to make a note of that here. How low can it go? Really low, which that's low enough. That gets the idea. Across, so I just need to be able to draw it higher. Yeah, the disk shouldn't stop there, and I made a note of that. But I do like the new arrow, and that should be reflected in this as well. This putting issue was because of that, but makes and misses. Do I actually? Well, makes and misses is determined by whether or not the score counted. So that's right. Here we got a circle 2 putt that missed really low, which is correct. We got bullseye putt, bullseye putt, bullseye putt. So yeah, I was gonna say here it looks like there should be, I was gonna say 4 of them, but maybe one of them is pushing the right side a little bit. Maybe that one's a little beyond. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Update putting miss arrow benchmarks. We did that, and I think for my one of my favorite parts of this, we get to cross a section off. So I think I've done everything. We got our shot logging here, which is all of my initial notes with this. And I've got stuff later that we're going to get to about updating appearances and stuff. We're going to check it off. I'm going to mute myself real quick and think about whether or not I'm going to do something else or stop the video while I take a call. Might have to stay on mute here just for a second. But next thing I'm going to do is we're going to work on updating the appearance of this. So I'm just going to do that on silent while I'm waiting for maybe another phone call. All right, unmuted. All right, main thing on appearance that I wanted to change, I think, was just the appearance of the disc. And I think I really just want to give it a black border. Like, I may not be put location disc border color. And I'm sure I went away from black initially because the chains are black. And that could be an issue, so just while I'm... Maybe we can do like a dark purple. Vivid purple. Extreme dark. Is there any other appearance stuff I want to change? I'm not going to change the appearance of the image. So I think the only question in my mind then would be, would I want to give the container some type of background? I think probably not. Like I could do like a horizon, which would be interesting, but yeah, this is okay. It is not an overly 3D effect. So maybe we'll pop open ChatGPT here and see if we can make that happen. Disk marker, positioned, transformed, size, circular, border. All right, so we got the basket. We're going to copy this positioned. We're just going to say the below code draws a disk for me with coloring and a location that I have selected. I like the way this is set up, but I want to make the disk a bit more three-dimensional. How can I do that? C1x. Let's specify frisbee. And we'll see what it has to say here. If it ever loads. if. Big if, I suppose. This isn't really working, is it? I guess we can just copy it and try to refresh. Okay, I don't know what the issue was there. Top-down perspective, 3 incremental upgrades, add lighting with gradients, replace color with a radial gradient. Okay. All right, so instead of color under the box decoration, right? Yeah, it's suggesting that we do this. Just to add some shading to it, I suppose. Rounded instead of flat. Fake thickness with a stacked rim layer. Without custom shaders. Critical for depth. Give me the full code to implement steps 1 through 3. Drop in replacement, 1 through 3, the shadow, positioned. Is that what my position looks like? It is. Main disk top layer with opacity. Okay. Let's give this a try. Replace the positioned. Main disk top layer, thickness rim bottom layer. I wonder what these like blunt edges are. Radial gradient, box shadow. I don't think I really want a shadow. That's what happens if I just take that out. Not much, really. Outer rim, we can make this thicker, right? That's an option. It does look pretty cheesy though. Let's just undo all of this for the moment here. If I just update this, that's what I get. So let's even bring this back to the normal color. Let's just try making this thicker. That is a start. Like maybe I just add a box shadow to this. Spread radius. I don't think that's quite working for me either. Box shadow. This doesn't look very clean. Any other good options for creating a 3D disk? Clean 3D disk via. I am open to trying this. All right, so we got Disk Painter, and then my drop-in is this for the positioned. Okay, we can try that. It is starting to look closer. So here we're using opacity, right? We are. App theme colors, where is this at? Progress, pubnet list location. Below is my disk color value. The opacity looks bad. You can see the basket through the disk. We're not going for a star plot or chant plastic here. So I need the below value to instead be a solid gradient of colors that can be used in place of the opacity gradient. I don't know if I'm gonna love this, but maybe it's gonna look really good. Publication. So let's get rid of this then, I guess. We'll format all this to look as it should. And yeah, I do want these to just be bars. No reason to mix it up. Bar, bar. All right, and then these colors are going to be this. Let's go list color. This colors. We're gonna go, we need highlight, mid, and shadow. Where does base color get used? put draw oval, rim paint, inner shadow paint. We never use base color. Does disk base color never get used then? Shader, radial gradient, colors. Okay, so instead of mid, we're going to use the base. Okay, we can do this. So disk color is going to be, what do we got? Highlight, base, put, location disk highlight, put, location disk base, list color, disk colors, and then here we've just got disk colors 0, 1, and 2. Not a const. Okay. And disk colors. All right, let's do a reset there. Yeah, so now that is much closer. Yeah, I would still like to make the rim of the disk a little bit thicker. Transform to rim color, disk border color, draw oval, main disk body, rim highlight, stroke width 1, 2. Even more so. Let's like make it excessive and see how bad it can get here, and then we'll 6. One 4. Yeah, why is it not using opacity here too? There we go. It is still just a little bit too dark. So we are going to, for the put location, where was it? Here we go. Vivid purple. Extreme dark is too dark. Maybe like this slightly darker. And then is there anything else I need to do? It is definitely an improvement. That is a bit too much. Maybe we'll try the instead of a white, just a light gray. That's not going to update automatically, is it? No. Okay, that's all right. We can reset there. Start round. C1. Inner rim shadow. I don't think I'm gonna like that. C1. Yeah, I do think we're getting a little bit worse here. Like, I don't know, like if the chains were a different color, that could be helpful, but let's do this here. Update this code to add a thin black border tire disc. Soft shadow, main to spotty, oval, rim highlight, rim shadow, thin border, draw last. I'm gonna go drop this down here. So I was thinking that maybe we actually do like vivid purple, extreme dark, and then we make this guy white. Let's try that. So dark rim, thin white border, just to try and distinguish it from the chains. Yeah. Could also just make it a white disc. Might be better. All right, I think we're going to call the video here. And I will continue to tweak this a little bit. We are on to the next section, which is just miscellaneous changes everywhere. First couple are just improving this. And then we'll start jumping around a little bit. But we'll see. Maybe I won't change stuff until the next video. Decent progress though. Finish the shot logging. Undo button's working. Skip button's working. And then we'll get the this graphic to look a little bit better and the drag to work a bit better. And then we are done with the logging side and we're back to graphic visuals, which should be pretty good. So yeah, we'll wrap it up there. As always, thanks to anybody who finds this after the fact, and maybe we'll see you in the next one.